Hi everybody, Happy New Year. Today I'm going on live to share with you guys 10 lessons I've learned in 2021. Right now it's Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. and I'm starting my 365 plus days of daily lives. Another attempt at doing this again. So I'm really counting on sticking to it this time around. And these 10 lessons, they're not in particular order. I'm just gonna start sharing whatever I come up with that I can think of. I'm just gonna go for it. So the first one is allowing feelings. I'm actually outside right now, so you might hear truck noise, stuff like that. Just excuse the noise. So allowing made me, because I've been getting a lot of coaching done these days. I'm getting weekly coaching, and the lessons that I've learned, one, I think this is the most important one, is allowing my feelings. Because I've been in the past, sometimes I wonder why, just like, especially when it comes to TV shows and eating sometimes, especially during the pandemic, I end up just like eating a lot of carbs, eating a lot of sweet things, and binge watching Netflix shows. And when the coaches are telling me I need to allow my feelings, so I was thinking, okay, so I should just allow my feelings of the urge of watching more episodes and not getting stuck and finish the whole entire season. But that's not allowing that feeling. It's actually allowing you to feel whatever you're trying to avoid. So usually when binge watching something is I'm trying to avoid like showing up on live, or trying to show up consistently for all of you guys, right? Or I'm trying to avoid certain responsibilities that I have to do, or taking care of myself, like self-care things. I'll go into more details for each of these specific ones as I do my daily lives. But especially when I'm feeling overwhelmed or confused or not knowing what to do, so I avoid those feelings by doing things that are not serving me. And but when you're actually feeling those feelings, just allow it and then look inward and then actually tackle those feelings in a way that not from a place of avoidance. So that's one. And number two is coaching. Coaching has been transformational for me this year. Not just group coaching, but like one-on-one coaching, hiring a coach. And that people wonder why I transitioned from being an occupational therapist to a life coach is because of what I've been experiencing, and I'll share that over the year as well in my live videos. And so I want to do that for other people. I want to coach other people, and then they can have that transformation as well. Also, I'm getting certified as a life coach. Not just getting coached, but actually going through the certification has made a huge difference, because what I'm learning in the certification is so much different than just getting coached. It's because I'm learning how to actually coach people, and it's like a lot of the concepts you don't even realize, all these coaches, what they're learning and what they know in addition to what you're getting. It's really amazing. I'm not going to go into too much of each one. And the next one is when it comes to having a girl and a boy. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-month-old, and the 4-year-old is a girl and the 6-month-old is a boy. They're completely different in terms of how just like eating habits and sleeping patterns and their sensitivity to things, just like everything's so different. And I always compare them. I'm like, wow, my daughter wasn't like this, why is my son like this? It's like I feel like I'm a new parent all over again, and it's been a great experience so far. That's number 3. Number 4 is making decisions, like at the moment, a yes or no. Like, so I've always struggled with this. And the other day I found an award given to me when I was in middle school. I think it was junior high school. I got a reward. I found it. My husband found it, and the award says I'm the most undecisive person. And till this day, I'm still having trouble deciding on things, but I'm getting much better. And what I've learned is that just decide yes or no, not just maybe. It's because if you're stuck in the maybe, or if you're trying to do both and then test out to see which one works, you ended up spending more energy dividing your attention, and the fact that you're just spending a lot of unnecessary energy towards not making a firm decision on one thing and go all in. Number 5 is when it comes to relationship with yourself, the relationship with your past self, present self, and future self, in terms of especially when it comes to weight loss. One of my coaches mentioned, for weight loss, one of the things that you need to do is the day before you plan your day 24 hours in advance. You write down everything that you're going to eat the next day, and you follow it like religiously. Whatever's on paper that you list that you're going to eat that thing the next day. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I have to go to a party or something unexpected happens and I'm not going to eat the same thing. But the reason why you wanted to do it the day before is because how people, they say meal planning day, Sundays or Wednesdays. So that's usually the norm for people that are busy to do meal planning 2 days a week and then prepare all the food in advance. But then that for me didn't work, is because, for example, on Tuesday, I'm like, oh, I want to eat this, even though I didn't plan that, but and I'm eating it anyway. And the reason why you want to actually, the day before, you write down everything that you want to eat for each meal, whatever portion amount, even if you want to go out to eat and you don't know exactly what you're going to order, but at least say, okay, you want to have 4 or 5 ounces of meat, or you want to have a plate of salad or whatever. Like, just be as specific as possible, is because it has to do with the relationship with yourself, with your present self and your future self. It's because you want to honor that and you want to respect that. And when you make the decision a day in advance, you're actually using your prefrontal of your consciously making the decision to do it, rather than at the moment you have that urge, or you just want to eat something sweet and you just go for it and say, what, the next meal I'll eat less sweets, or I'll just go work out. And that's one thing about having the relationship with yourself, and especially with your future self. I'm going to go with a weight loss example. It's because of New Year's and a lot of people have weight goals. So let's just say you want to lose 20 pounds. And so for you to reach that goal, you want to kind of feel and think, be basically kind of starting to think and be yourself, your future self now. So how would you act now if you're already 20 pounds down? And start loving yourself now, because I know sometimes I've done that before, and I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, okay, I don't like the way that I look, but then start loving your body now, and then so that way you come to peace with your future self in the present. So that way when you get there, you're not kind of just losing that relationship with yourself. And number 6 is writing down. I kind of mentioned 6 already, writing down everything you eat the night before, and I got into that a little bit with number 5. And number 7 is the quality of the questions that you ask, especially those coaching questions. I've been binge watching a lot of these replays of these coaching calls, and I've been getting coached a lot, and all these powerful questions that these coaches ask me, and it made me realize, like, holy crap, I already have the answers myself, and sometimes I just need a coach to ask me these questions for me to figure it out. And sometimes as I'm answering the questions, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even realize that I already have the answer. So that's pretty powerful to find out. And self-coaching is another thing that I've learned is important. Not only you depend on other coaches to coach you, of course that's important, like I've been stating pretty much the whole entire time, but that you do your self-coaching when you don't have a coach by your side. Of course, it can be with you 24/7, and whenever you have something that's going on your mind that you want to solve, you have to do your self-coaching along the way too. And then another thing is coaches have been talking about failing ahead of time, and I feel like that's what I have been doing. Is I have not been trying to do a lot of things. It's because I don't want to fail. and I end up failing ahead of time for not even doing the stuff. So that's something, just go for it, make the decision, try it, and once you do it, there's like 50% chance of failing, or 50% chance of succeeding. So at least you have a chance of getting it right. And even if you fail, you learn from that mistake, and then your failure can be your opportunity to grow. So definitely just take imperfect actions, massive imperfect actions, and just go for it. And the last thing is, what I've learned is your thoughts always create your results, and that's really powerful to learn. Another example is during a practice coaching session, people were saying different facts, different circumstances, different reality things that's like happening around them. And during the coaching session, I'm thinking all the ways to change the circumstance, like all the ways to change the situation rather than the thoughts of that person or what. And it turns out that you don't want to just change the circumstance, you don't want to change the situation that's happening to you that you feel like is causing your actions and your results, but you're actually wanting to focus on the thought behind that, because if you keep on changing the situation, you keep on changing the factual things, you're always going to find something to change about it rather than working on your thoughts. That's the underlying cause of the root of the situation. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right, so that's it, my 10 lessons that I've learned this year, and hopefully that helped some people. And thank you for people tuning in, and if you're watching the replay, say hi as well, #replay, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I cannot tell you ahead of time when I'm going live, and it just depending on the situation and family, just scheduling is unpredictable, but it will be within the 24-hour period, Eastern Standard Time, and I'll make sure I'll be live. Also, I am working on probably just transcribing these lives into podcasts again, although I've been told by coaches again not to do podcasts, but I figured instead of doing like just regular podcast episodes where I have to do those intro and outro and all that stuff with music and make it all fancy, like really podcast and edit it, I'm just gonna upload these Facebook lives onto my podcast that way. So that's ways, in a way, more organized for me, and also for you guys to have a compilation of all my videos in one area rather than looking through past Facebook lives on Facebook. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.